lovely to be with you this morning. I always look forward to this time where I spend, and I just can imagine all of you what you are doing and where you are. And um, I wonder, are you feeling like this, or are you asking this kind of question from God? What is your heart questioning? What's happening in your mind? And so the best I can do is to kind of, this is what's happening with me at the moment. This is my journey. Come with me on my journey, and we can do a journey together and alone, because your journey with your God is personal, but you can journey together and separately on this journey. So I'm the youngest of sorry, that was nearly my book falling. I'm the youngest of 4 daughters, and we're all very different. And I was always the weird one. I always thought I was like totally out of place. I would feel out of place, like even when I got married to my husband, I adore people, so it's not difficult for me to love people. And so his cousins, I loved his cousins and his aunt and things like that. But I always felt a little out of place because I was never like them. And the funny thing is now, as we get older, I look back and they would mock me a little bit, but we mocked each other. So it was never me. It was my own insecurities that I felt that that was because I always felt like I was different. And so, yeah, even I have these different thoughts, and people look at me like strange sometimes. What are you saying? And and it was until last year that I actually kind of fit into a group. And I started, and of really weird people, but they're really not. They're just who they are. And I started realizing that that's actually what's good about me, is my different thought patterns and the different way I do things. I do things in projects, if I can put it that way. And sometimes I don't finish a project because I can't see the end yet. So I let it go, and can get it back later. And I realized that I don't think in this linear sort of organized way. I think in finite bubbles, and then I create and I do what I have to, and then when it's done, then I retract a bit until this bubble grows again. And then, so sometimes it looks like I'm doing nothing, and that's a different part of who I am. And so many people around me don't work like that, so they don't get it. And I don't, so it's difficult, but I've learned about myself, and I've read this in Romans 12, verse 16, and it encouraged me so much that those of you who are different, or you feel different to the people around you, I want to encourage you with this. Romans 12, verse 6 says, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them, if in prophecy, in proportion to our faith. Isn't that lovely? The gifts, it's a gift to be different. The gift, but remember, there are people that you see as normal, but they are different to you, so they are different. They just think differently. So often you are taught by a parent that thinks in a certain way, but you think in a different way. And so that's when we clash. Instead of stepping back and going, let me see how they're thinking. Ah, okay, I understand what you're saying, but this is how I interpret it. Or this is how I interpret it, because this is how I this is how I work. I do the thing, and then the bubble bursts, and all the work comes out, and then I have to retract and fill that bubble up again. And I had like a business coach. I want to say she's more than a business coach, but for want of she's like a mentor, but she helps you grow yourself as well as grow your business and look at things in different perspectives. And I just found it so amazing. And the Bible even says that being different and having different gifts is important. It's not just different or weird. And what I love it's according to the grace of God, that mercifulness of God. Being different. So students that aren't good with this, and this, they will be good with that, and that. And that's okay. That's fine. Because we can't all be doctors or lawyers or whatever, because we're going to need plumbers sometime. was a doctor once in a hospital, and he said the white person I respect the most is a plumber, because he's got to work with excrement worse than I have to, and I cannot unplug those, things that he has to unplug. And I thought, what a wonderful thing for a doctor to say to somebody that we think is a lowly plumber. But without the plumber, there's going to be a lot of excrement. It's a problem. And so I encourage you to, first of all, look at yourself and go, why am I feeling inferior because of my differences? Because they are gifts given by grace. God gave them to you because he loved you. His grace is abundant. And then look at other people and the things that you think are weird about other people. Look at them and go, oh, that's the grace of God that has been bestowed on him or her. Interesting. Being weird and different, and that doesn't preclude you, exclude you from having these negative thoughts about people that are different to you. It doesn't. In fact, sometimes it makes it worse because you kind of look down on them because they're just not fabulous enough. So it's a journey that I've had to walk for myself and then with my outlook. And it's actually made me help and encourage my children more. And that's one of the most important things to me, is that my children are fulfilled and growing as adults. And that's important to me. I hope you can find that, because that's a lovely thing to find. And while you are looking for that, have a wonderful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.